Hello and welcome back to the YouTube Full-Thrive Freelancer channel. I am so glad you're here. We are freelancers that like to work with clients we like, do work that we love on our own schedule. If that's you, you're in the right place. Today, I am talking about the difference between the perfect client and the real client. And if you're on any freelancing platform like Upwork, you know there's a big difference. So if you want to know how to turn a real client into the perfect client, stay tuned, it's coming up. Let's talk really quickly about the perfect client. If I was to describe my perfect client and you'd be like, man, I hope, how many of you, just raise a hand because I see you all. I'm looking in your eyes. This is a very intimate coaching call. So I'm not like doing a webinar. I'm talking to you. I want to see hands up or hands down or whatever. How many of you have actually worked with what you would say would be an ideal client or a perfect client or some aspects of it? It helps to know that they exist and that they're not a unicorn, right? You're like, okay, if there's one out there, that means there are others. So that is one indication, or what I call a breadcrumb, that says, all right, I know they exist. You actually have to have a belief that whatever service you're offering, that there is somebody who wants what you do. All right, I mean, that's business 101, first of all. But the perfect client, what would the perfect client look like? A perfect client would know exactly what they want. They can articulate it, they're clear, like, this is what I want, here are my deliverables. They happen to line up with exactly what you offer. Like, how amazing is that? Like, wow, everything you offer, that's what I need. Wouldn't that be the perfect client? And they value what you do and love your proposal and pay you what you're worth. Holy cow, what if we can find clients like that every day? You're like, wow, you tell me what you need, happens to be everything I do, here's what I'm going to charge, I know it's higher than everybody else, and they say thank you and they pay you their invoice. Has that happened to anybody before? Maybe something along those lines. You've gotten pretty lucky if you do. And here's the challenge. If you go out there continuing to look for that, you're gonna be disappointed, you're gonna be frustrated, you're gonna get cranky with the customer. You're actually going to think it's their fault. There is gonna be times, I'm sure you have said to yourself, man, they're a jerk, they just don't understand, they this, they that, if they only, they, right? It's always outside of you instead of actually like, what part could I play in this? I'm the common denominator here. So let's talk about real clients. This is probably what I see on Upwork, or when I get a lead through a platform, this is probably a little bit more typical. The client thinks they know what they need. They're going to tell you they know what they need, right? They're like, oh yeah, I'm pretty clear. I need words on a website, or I need blah, 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 or, you know, this is what I need. And they kind of like want to like be really firm in it. This is my favorite and yet my biggest pet peeve. They're always like, well, I just need a, or I only need that. I don't need the whole thing. I just want, right? There's something about it. I'm guilty of this as being a client on the other side. I'm a typical DIYer. Anybody else DIY? You're like, man, I could do this myself. Your graphics, I'm good at Canva. I can figure out YouTube. Like I just need, okay. Whenever I find a client that's like that, I'm like, oh. Because of course I'm going to offer or sell a beautiful package of something, and they're already coming at me with this attitude of I just need. Okay, so that's an indication of like what I call a real client. And they already have a price in their mind. They're like, yeah, I kind of know what I want to pay. So they have a budget, or they're not even a budget. They just have some arbitrary number. I need you to write 5 emails for me, and I'm going to pay you $200, and I only just need this. And you're like, oh God, okay. Right? You could quickly say, oh, they're not a good client. They're not my perfect client. I don't even want to work with them. I know on Upwork, there's a lot of you that will look at the job posting and not apply to it because you've already decided they're not your ideal customer. Yes? Anybody done that? You have read one line in there or something in there and you're like, oh, that disqualifies them. Or it disqualifies me. I talk a lot about this in my masterclass where I say, Listen, you do not need to be 100% qualified for every job you apply for. Oh my God, there is no such thing as the perfect freelancer. Like, if you are kind of close or you're almost qualified, go ahead and go through the process of getting on a discovery call with them to see. Here is the number one thing you got to change in your mind is the number one up here. The client thinks or knows what they need. It is not true. I'm telling you, I have done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably 1,000 discovery calls. It only takes 1 or 2 questions for me to realize, they think they know, or they want to think they know, but they really don't know, because I am the expert. I am the guide. Now, whether you feel like an expert or feel like a guide, maybe you're just starting, but if you're not just starting, you have probably done more projects than the client has done, okay? So for marketing, how many marketing strategy plans has a client ever put together? I don't know, 1 or 2. Maybe you've done 3, 4, 5, or 6 of them. You're like, hey, I've kind of done this a few times. I've taken people through the story brand process, oh my gosh, probably about 180 times. You know how many times a client has gone through the story brand process themselves? Like half a time, 0.75, and it's really sad and pathetic when they do it, okay? I wouldn't say that to them, but that's the truth. So you need to change your mindset that, listen, I know they think they know what they want, or they just need this, but here's the secret. I don't want to give away the punchline. How do you turn one of those real clients that on the surface you go, nope, not for me. Nope, they don't get it. Nope, they won't pay me. Like, no, I'm going to keep looking for my unicorn. How do you turn a real client into the ideal client?
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you found that valuable. If you're looking for more on freelancing, how to find clients you like, do work that you love on your own schedule, there are a ton of videos that you can check out and throughout the channel. Now, I want you to subscribe below if you like this, and you will always be notified when a new video drops. Lastly, we have a Facebook group we would love to have you join. It's called Full-Thrive Freelancers, and over there we have free masterclasses, live Q&A, and an amazing community of thriving freelancers. Join us there.